Hello and back to another Commander game. This time I am playing Talrand once again, and we are playing against a Thalia deck. So probably some kind of either stacks deck or white weenie deck. We'll find out. I decided to mulligan this hand because lots of lands and no action. And this hand's better. It's not great, but it'll do its job. Scribe Bribery to the bottom. I'm not going to be able to cast that anytime soon. He plays Plains and Pass, and I will as well. And of course he casts Thalia. I'll just pass after playing a land, and he attacks with Thalia. I'm going to play as Mentor of the Meek, so it's probably more of a white weenie deck. Be drawing lots of cards over there if this thing gets going. So I got a decent amount of spells that are relatively castable with the land I have, but Thalia is definitely a thorn in the side. So this turn I end up just casting Inaction Injunction just to retain Thalia, save myself a little bit of damage, and hopefully draw into some more action. And I just find another land. And he goes and tutors up a land and swings for 4. Oh, just 2. Alright, and I will run Talrand out there and hope for the best. No blocks, of course. I'll take 4. He plays Gideon. This guy is quite the thorn in my side this game. He just ticks him up, so I have to attack him this turn, which is fine. I decide to rapid hybridize Thalia. I should have done this after I attacked Gideon, but at the time I wasn't paying attention and totally missed that I was going to have to attack. So definitely a misplay, but it is what it is. I figured at this point Gideon was just going to kill him either way with his minus ability, so it wasn't a big deal. I decide I'll just try and get a bunch of drakes out of the deal. Cast Frantic Search. I discard Repulse and Reliquary Tower. Untap 3 lands. Just cast Gataxian Probe. And we can see his hand here, so nothing super scary. Spirit of the Labyrinth is definitely not fun to play against with a deck that's full of cantrips, but I do have this disc, so I should be able to deal with anything he throws out. And Lightning Greaves. And I'll grab one more Drake here. And seeing I have Treasure Cruise, I decided to just discard a land. And here's when I realized, oh, I had to attack. Well, definitely made some mistakes, but then he doesn't even block. So I guess that's cool. And now I'm at the point where it's like, wow, if I knew he wasn't going to block, wish I played Lightning Greaves, because then he couldn't even minus Gideon on me, but I mean, realistically, Talon should be dead this turn no matter what, so can't really complain with how it's going to happen. So we'll just throw out Tormod's Crypt. Spirit of the Labyrinth, and replay Thalia. Draws a card off Mentor of the Meek. I don't think that actually works because of Spirit of the Labyrinth, but he's not the only one that's going to forget that this game. So I decide not to block because I want to be able to kill this Gideon. So I'll draw land for turn, and here I make a nice big mistake, almost cost me the game, and decide to cast Treasure Cruise even though he has a Spirit of Labyrinth in play. Just clearly not thinking. Realize my mistake, decide, alright, well, guess I just play Disc, but I decided to attack him first just in case it, I don't know, affects his decision making in some way. Alright, I'll just play out Disc and pass. And he plays out the Angel, drops the land, and puts Gideon right back in his hand. Strip mines an island. And gets in there with all his creatures, knowing I'm probably going to board wipe. I'll just block 2. At this point I figure I should block ones I can kill, just on the off chance I decide I don't want to disc this turn. Leave that open as an option. And this time I see I have Dissolve, Rewind, and Disc up. I decided to just pass with those up and leave the Drakes back in case he decides to just do a suicide attack. Again, thinking maybe I could get good enough blocks back to not have to pop the Disc. Of course, the cost of this is he does get to use a Marius Shepherd to get another creature back. He just attacks with these two, so at this point I don't really have to worry about blocking Disc. I can just put a creature in front of each. I'm pretty set on using the Disc at the end of his turn at this point, so I figure I'll just block, take no damage, and this way you can't really cast anything before his turn ends here, or he's just going to lose it. And there we go. And my draw for turn is Leap. So it's really just a cantrip, but in this case it's not awful because we know he does have that Gideon in turn, so this will make sure like Talrand can attack over his blockers if he's forced to, and hopefully not just die. So this turn I play out Greaves and decide to leave counter magic up, thinking next turn I can cast Talrand and just equip them up for safety. He casts Greaves. I decide not to counter that. I see he only has one card in hand, and I know it's Gideon, and then he has Thalia he can cast. And I figure I'd much rather counter one of those. And sure enough, he tries to play Thalia, so I cast Rewind. And draw for turn is Mystic Remora. It's not a terrible draw, but I just run Talrand out and equip Boots, attack for 2. He casts Gideon and ticks him up, so I know this turn I'm going to have to attack. I decide to run out Seagate Oracle, see what's on top first. There's 2 lands, so I put 1 in my hand. Play it for turn, cast Mystic Remora, and swing in at Gideon for 2. Pass the turn with Dissolve up. So he takes Gideon up again and casts Hedron Archive. I decided to just let that resolve. I'm not terribly scared of it. He lets me draw a card off Mystic Remora. Then goes to cast Solemn Simulacrum. And this I decided to just counter. Scry is Hollowmere Depths. I just send that to the bottom. I don't really need the land. I decided to pay for Mystic Remora for now because I don't see myself spending a ton of mana this turn. I draw an island, play it out, and attack Gideon for 3. Oh, for 5. And pass the turn. He takes Gideon up again, cracks Hedron Archive, and casts Burnished Heart, and equips Boots. So this is a case where that leap comes in handy. I wanted to, right here, I was just debating on whether or not to cast Leap at end of his turn so I get another Drake and would be able to just kill Gideon, but I thought keeping Talrand alive was probably just a little bit more important. And I'd let him take Gideon up one more time. So again, I'll pay for Mystic Remora. Don't see myself spending a lot of mana. I'm going to draw Bite and Oplasta, so that's a great draw. if I could get this Gideon off the board, it means I'll be able to draw a lot of cards. So I'll run that into play. My other thought is that using this ability here, creatures your opponents control attack this turn if able, I can keep his blockers all tapped down so that I'm able to just hit Gideon and don't have to like run my Talrand into bigger blockers. Here I realize I have to move the boots over in order to cast Leap on Talrand so I don't suicide him. So I cast Leap. And then I decided at this point I could actually just kill Gideon by moving the boots over to the Drake. So I go to do that. Swing everything at Gideon. And sure enough, I do get punished for moving the boots over to the Drake and not back to Talrand. But I don't know. I think I made the right play there. I don't think Condemn was something that was worth playing around. I mean, if he was going to kill Talrand, I figured odds are he would have been able to do it beforehand when I was switching the boots around to cast Leap. So, you know, this is just not a spell I figured was worth playing around. It's not the end of the world. I am pretty head on board. He has no cards. Next turn I should be able to kill Gideon and start drawing cards off by enough Thalia. So he takes Gideon up again. Runs out Thalia, then moves the boots over. So I activate Bident, so he has to attack this turn. Yeah, I'm getting low, but this way I know I have the damage to kill Gideon right here. Decided not to pay for Mystic Remora this time because I figure I'd be casting Talrand again, probably. So again, this might be a bit of a mistake. I probably should have cast Talrand before combat and put boots on him, just to get the extra 2 points of damage through, but not the end of the world, I guess. So I run him out and pass the turn thinking I have Voyage's End up, but I kind of forgot about Thalia here. So he attacks in. I just take the damage. And here I go to cast Voyage's End, but clearly it doesn't work. Whoops. I draw Swan Song, so that's a good draw. At least helps deal with some of the possible kill spells he could have. But now I get to start going off by enough Thalia. Get to swing in with 4 creatures and draw 4 cards. Draw a counterspell, Serum Visions, and 2 lands, so good draws. I'll run Serum Visions out there, get another Drake. I'll scry 2 lands to the bottom. Then I'll cast Sleight of Hand. So the reason I'm casting these now, instead of just holding up all these instants, is because I actually, this way I have 2 Drakes to block Thalia with, so I could force them to run Thalia into them. And you'll see, off Sleight of Hand, I see Trail of Evidence and Cyclonic Rift. I don't really see myself needing Cyclonic Rift, so I decided to just grab Trail here. And pass the turn with Counter Magic up. He goes to cast Anafensa. Think about it a little bit, and in the end decide I might as well just counter it. I have these 2 lands I could discard so that I could just buy back Forbid. And he scoops, so yeah, I figure at this point it's probably close to game over. I don't know what his 1 card left in hand is, but with this board I'll be drawing lots of cards every turn, force him to swing into me, so Talrand and Seagate Orioka can get through as well, and the game's pretty much over. So I thought it was a good game. The hand ended up getting me pretty low before I could get going, and I made some pretty big mistakes that almost cost me the game, but came out with a win in the end. So hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.